All right, welcome to Lesson 89, Algebraic Phrases. Let me start off by saying this is a tough lesson. I have Algebra 1 students and Algebra 2 students who will call me and just ask me to set the problem up for them. So if you struggle with it, you're not alone. But it just takes memorization and it takes thought process, okay? Look at Lesson 89, Algebraic Phrases. When they say a number, we represent that as being the unknown as just the letter N. So on page number 250, take a look at that first section. The word phrase, the sum of a number and 7. So when they say sum, it's a combination problem. Not just an addition problem, but a combination problem. Because you can add positive numbers and negative numbers, okay? So when they say sum, they mean addition and subtraction, okay? It's a combination. So they want you to take a number, which they're not telling you what it is. So you represent that as, in some cases, an X. For this lesson, when we say a number, use the letter N for number, okay? The sum of a number and 7, okay? So they have a number, and they want you to combine it with a 7. And if they didn't say a negative 7, they mean a positive 7. So I would express that as N plus 7. Look at the next one, the sum of a number and negative 7. So sum is a combination again. So a number and negative 7 is N minus 7. 7 greater than a number. So whenever you see a number, it's like 7 greater than or 7 less than, I'm going to start off to the right and say 7 greater than what? Well, a number, okay? So I put the 7 greater of further to the right. I put the N right here. So it starts off by saying 7 greater than. You want to write that on the left. But if you do positive 7n, you're saying 7 times n, which is what they communicate that, right? So whenever you see 7 greater than or 7 less than, take that and throw it off to the right side, then put the rest in, okay? A number increased by 7. A number increased by 7 is also 7 plus n. And they're going to go down to some multiplication problems here. When they say the opposite of a number, okay, if my number turned out to be 13, let's say hypothetically the unknown turned out to be a 13, what's the opposite of 13? It will be a negative 13, right? What's the opposite of 9? The opposite of 9 is a negative 9, right? Think of good and evil. Positives being good, the negatives being evil. What's the opposite of Brother Brian? Evil Brother Brian, right? What's the opposite of a positive person? A negative person, okay? So if my number turned out to being 13, what's the opposite of 13? Well, negative 13. So if you look at page 251, look down to the third line there. The opposite of a number decreased by 6. So the opposite of a number will be a negative n. It's decreased by 6, so it would be minus 6, okay? And then let's look at something a little bit more complicated. Look down to where it says the sum of twice a number and negative 3. The sum, combination problem, of twice a number, and they want you to sum or combine it with negative 3. Okay? Sorry. Go wash your hands. All right. Take a look at 4 times the sum of twice a number and negative 3. Now you can start seeing where people get confused and I don't know what to do, just tell me what to do. Tell me how to set it up and I'm smart enough to figure it out after that. Okay, well, we just slow down and you always refer back to these pages. When you get stuck, later lessons on this type of problem, go back to page 251 and 250 and just match up the wording and write it out the same way they did. So it's an important set of paper here. 4 times the sum of twice a number and negative 3. Okay? So, 4 times the sum. So I want to do 4 times something else. I want you to find the sum first, and then times 4 times the answer, or the sum of what I'm about to give you. 4 times the sum of twice a number, that's 2n, and negative 3. So they said 4 times the sum of this. So you have to find the sum first before you multiply by 4. And you get further and further down the rabbit hole. I want you to try practice A through F right now, the best of your ability, and we'll go over the answers. Go ahead and pause the video. Okay, practice lesson 89. A should be n minus 4. B should be n minus 4. C should be negative n minus 3. D should be negative n parentheses 6, close parentheses. You could also write negative 6n. I'd be okay with that. Letter 5 is 5 parentheses n minus 6 parentheses. And F is negative 4 parentheses n plus 6 close parentheses. So I know those are difficult. You keep at it. You'll be able to do it a little bit better every time. Keep referring back to the examples they gave you. Just match up the language with what they're doing, but try to understand why they're doing it that way, okay? That's lesson 89.